Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Government is doing politics with this whole LGBTQ plus.
Yeah, I think that it's funny the sort of country we find ourselves in. And consistently you could see some catches the NPP consistently replace intellectualism with a bit of some sort of idiocy, because you see they don't make sense anymore. And it's quite frustrating to see a political party over the years and a man for a title as a party of elite now, and are degenerating to the gutters where they almost take arguments how to argue the point out. Even some fine understanding, they don't. They still think say we are still back in the Stone Age where you can incite emotions, whip sentiments for political expediency. That era is long gone. You see, I was shocked. Yes, a press conference on this particular matter, and it's very embarrassing. It's unfortunate that this gentleman is consistently dragging the NPP into the gutters. That guy,
Reverend Ntim Fordjour,
he's just shopping attention. He's an attention-seeking freak. That is what I see. Because was it not the same gentleman who said, "Say, playing biaba bisi tamak so your friend is saying cocaine in as if when he was called not some passing or Ghana to say like a coward." And such people should not be given any saying seriousness. But it's unfortunate the media we find ourselves in will always give oxygen of publicity to some of this nonsense to glide. First of all, establishing the baseline rule. Ghana Hayati Menewo any obia is against or nobody is in support of this emerging insanity called the LGBT whatever. That is the baseline, because our culture, everything is against it. But also be LGBT, we mean to me attacking because no so that is his business. But see your chrome hano. A front our culture, everything Ghanaian, it's not in line with those emerging insanity never market achieve or also person call your bad that particular thing. And that is the established conventional red lines I established here. Over the years, prior to Akufo-Addo time, there were some advocacy. A lot of people were involved, asking, say, you pass a certain law. Now you're making sure, say, you rather high, say, no, there are consequences because the existing laws, any remedy for those things. The law was pushed to Parliament. Parliament passed, transmitted to the president to sign. They used certain shenanigans and some mind games just to ensure, say, the president could not sign that particular bill. At that time, Ntim Fordjour was walking on the moon, and he didn't see the need to put pressure on his own government, Akufo-Addo, to have that particular bill ascended to. Because I was with the view, say, in the execution of the president mandate as the executive president of Ghana, it's a bill through Parliament, no court can stop him from executing that particular thing.
That's you live in our court, but he signed.
Exactly. We now issues with data. You can drag the issue back to court because until the president sign because Parliament has that exclusive jurisdiction operating within a certain realm, or you're master of its own, or we not president sign, you have issues with data. But these people were able to, flow in a lot of nonsense of a justification to have it blocked. They did not. President Mahama taking over, and let me also say, President Mahama on several occasions, I'm making it quite clear, he does not support LGBTQ+. That has been his consistent position. And to confirm this Lincoln University brouhaha is a tacit confirmation of the fact that the president of the Republic of Ghana natural position is LGBTQ++, and thing. And that is the standard way I establish it. So Obi does or not catch say President Mahama say LGBTQ+ any priority, and for that matter or the other Ghana for Utimu say that argument is very poor in logic. Because first of all, say what may sure say why a government paying and know how a bills go through a certain process, emanate from maybe the executive or private person anywhere, interest group, whatever. And the bill mrana yakasi mrano and your parliament in a chomrao. Bill nankasa originated from elsewhere other than Parliament. What Parliament will do is they will just look at it look at the law, situate it within the frame of the constitution, and make sure, say, there are no excesses in that particular provision, a contravening with any provisions in the constitution. So the legislation must be carved within the limit of the constitution, just to ensure, say, there are no contraventions. Or what I say, that is it for you. So Parliament will have to read and assess it and make sure, say, go through stages of reading. Now, more we are Parliament as sign, say, a real bill, no, then it will be transmitted to the president to sign. So, yen we are no more press conference. This is what I mean. At this point in time, a dear President Mahama Ekwaku sign.
There's nothing.
A dear President Mahama Ekwaku sign Cecia because Cecia Monoka say there is no law. I am ready. There is no bill. President Ekwaku sign. So press conference no more yen unless President Mahama should go and sign a bill. No, there be no Ekwaku sign because there is nothing. Parliament Nipaya or your comedy. He's a parliamentarian, no, and it is his job to ensure that there is a speedy passage of that particular law. So what pass here we now the BI okay. Nasa what time they come president now or say sign, then you have a genuine concern because at that point it becomes a priority of the president. As it stands now, if the president says that the LGBTQ is not a priority, what he means within the context is that Cecia Monoka say on his table there is nothing like LGBT anything on his table. So how does that thing become a priority? I can't just say common sense is enough incentive to even provoke the uneducated mind to appreciate the president as long as the bill is not on his table for him to assent to, it is not a priority. Because President Mahama so is the LGBT may sign, they no sign. There is nothing. So it is absolutely childish for anybody to seek to peddle a certain narrative out there. Say president say the priority. Not being a priority is within the context that the bill is not available, the bill is not ready for him to sign. You understand? Because a bill near ready, bill near way, and then just like it was forwarded to Akufo-Addo. Now say sign. Then we because we want the bill to be signed. Warning Speaker of Parliament not to transmit that particular. This insanity went on in this country, and that guy was in this country, and today he has the gut to be doing press conference. And because the politics has become very cheap, but that guy has no credibility to be stand before people and be doing press conferences because he lied when he was being called to come and answer for Sakoke no service temat no. We are not champagne. Janet is and such a coward today has a voice telling people what. You understand? So for me, I didn't see a president table. So now say on sign, then all of us will have our bit to say. But as long as it is not on the table, it is not a priority. And I see saying another president will tell me to go to Parliament and make sure say, hey, Monya bill, Monya and Ntim, Mon pass, or does it start with the president? So where is this joke coming from? And I wonder why the media is unable to put these strong questions before people. Because if the bill is in front of the president, then we can have that conversation. Say, oh, president lied to the people because he says he will do this. He has gone the other way. But when I went to Parliament, what you say this bill will ripe to be forwarded to the president for him to do his bit. One win what the and the day na maybe says a day na president ekwa sign and kramo woman or sign and that's all sign Bible. You see, it doesn't make sense. You understand? You see the poverty of logic and intellect in the way these people argue is so shocking and so amazing. And yeah, I'm so surprised. You see, the future of the NPP is so bleak to the stand. Say, if these are the people who will be managing, leading the party, then they have a long way to go because I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel because these are people, even basic political communication, they are getting it wrong. Basic reasoning, they are getting it wrong. Basic common sense, they are missing it. So there is nothing that the opposition is doing to convince intelligent minds out there that we messed up for 8 good years. We've come back sitting on the sidelines. we want to do things differently. So the MPP you lost trust in today, you know, classified to come back as some sort of a reliable entity, but you put up this comedy of an argument. You put up this joke of an argument. The conversation is always about aggression. It is about yen saboteur. We don't care even if we are embarrassing ourselves. It doesn't make sense. For instance, this reparation thing. Our President Mahama, amidst of all this, yes, I found your market said, but he forgets that this whole reparation thing, Akufo-Addo was even part of it. At UN, he started some of these things. You understand? At that time, he didn't have any issue with the President Akufo-Addo talking about reparation, but today, because it is President Mahama, he has an issue. So these are minds you cannot take serious. You understand? Yeah. So for me, I think it's what's in change as a young people. Sometimes I wonder, politics, in as much as politics, government, and as a form, I'm also worried about what young people are consuming, because they are consuming nothing dishonesty. They are consuming nothing but double standard. They are consuming nothing but hypocrisy. And these are the basic tenets that characterize your politics. So if you are dishonest, if you are a deceptive character, even if you are not wise, that's okay. You can still be in Ghana politics. You will thrive and triumph well, because as long as you have money, you have followers, you will have some people who will argue for you, and we get away. Because as we are making, what is Obia Transfer beside this particular guy? This question, your friend saying,
Reverend Ntim.
What is Obia beside this question? Asking President Mahama, and you know, me say, dear no uncle sign co run and uncle sign Bible.
Also, parliament will be.
Also, parliament will be. It is your job to ensure, you fasten the process to have the bill ripen, so that the president and that will even put more pressure on the president, because once you are done, you push it to him. If he doesn't sign, then you have the legitimacy to take the microphone, do press conference, and even in that particular thing, the question is, will you have the moral justification to do that if you have a sense of shame? Because we've gone through that same channel, and Akufo-Addo, he declined to sign. Even if it comes tomorrow and President Mahama decide not to sign, will you have the moral justification to even blame him? You understand? So these are shameless bunch of individuals who should not be taken serious. What the things being in opposition is all about young criticize and that is very childish. That is very embarrassing. Because in this time and age, you cannot win political power with this kind of thing. Because my culture says, you see, you can never win power on the weaknesses of your opponent. You can only win on your strength. And if you think, being around sabotaging, being around throwing negativity, being around, you forget the basic things Ghanaians are looking at is the economy. Now, no matter say, yes, I could be a communication director. I say President Mahama is constructing road as if your friends say road is everything. Really?
That is what they did in 2016.
The whole communication director of a political party would take a center stage and say this. Development there, but these people declared a year of roads
2 times,
which they did nothing. But today it's visible. I told you the last time I went to Drobo, and you all started from Kumasi to Sunyani, from Sunyani to Brekum to Drobo to Sampa Road. It's under construction. Currently, contractors are on the road. And there are several other parts. It's not a lie. You go there, you see them, people are working. You understand? And they have issue with that. President Mahama decided to build an express road from Kumasi to Accra. These jokers have issue with it. So what kind of people? That is what I'm telling you. You see, it's not an accident. That is their character. Because when Kwame Nkrumah was busy fighting for independence, these people, their forefathers visited the Queen. Told her in the face, my independence man for my So you see, saboteurs, that is in their blood. That is what they do. So when you're president, the one stay focused. You lose guard and then you drag yourself into the gutters. This is what they do best. And I think President Mahama has asserted that he's focused doing his thing. And this particular statement does not mean the president will not sign the bill. Does not mean the president is not against LGBT. But it means that as long as the bill is not on his table, it is not a priority. That is what it means. Because we are looking at Parliament and civil society, everybody has spoken about it. But the thing is that as long as it is not on the table of the president, it it is not a priority now. You understand? So for you to make it a priority, speed up the process and take it to him. So what is this noise about? And because people are not asking them any sensible question, they think that's okay. Yeah, I think that my culture says it's better the NPP hire maybe a consultancy firm. Because at this point in time, maybe the embarrassment and the shock from the previous election, you know, still because they are not thinking straight, they are not making sense. I'm making arguments, and the poverty of wit is very shocking. Common sense is missing, logic is missing. All that they are good at making noise. And then as for me to say, I say, obisi koko we to the idea of petition asante. Na asante no nya den.
Obeto.
No asante ni to koko no nko we an mfa nkwa ye nkwan. You see, they don't make sense. Then sometimes they need to hire a consultancy firm. So at this point in time, no, our head is in the freezers. You will need somebody to think for us. Somebody bet to me, I bridge the gap between us and Ghanaians, because you see, the gap between the NPP and Ghanaians, I say Hannibal Faso. So you need to be reasonable to be able to bridge that particular way, but consistently, no, they are widening the gap. And 1 year, 2 years, President Mahama Abayemu, they will take you over. Obey a mistake back, obey me, no, but take unpopular decisions in as a forum. So the relationship between you and the people, no, wide back. Now opposition, you know, fill the gap. But today, that is the opposite. The opposition is setting afar. And almost shout to be a crunch of my voice. And the president and the governor has been in power and still enjoys this particular thing. We will be a strategic personality politics as out in chair. You should be worried. Because some of these press conferences that they do, what has been the outcome? The why no more year gidi no more year press conference corner cocaine besita makiso ekosisa. Nipana old lady was a coward. And today that same coward has the infantry to mark the way, put up this your friend is saying press conference. I said and this person, you want the average Ghanaian now or not? What shall I see all the politics? I say, oh, senior politics with Nyansa no to respect these people. That's what I'm saying, that we must begin to drop this title on number, because some people don't even deserve it. You understand?
All right.
Oh, people should be called by their names, because it's embarrassing to be calling people.
Mr.
Yeah.
So, Mr.
Most of yes, a lot of them are good. They are doing good job. But some don't merit the title. Even the beginning age, they don't even merit it, let alone their own. Oh.
All right, I don't see your first topic. I don't know. The last time I saw Honorable and the appear could be a Greek religion. I'm catching this Honorable. But you know, say me you free more. I say, oh yeah. Because I don't know a bit to say Honorable oh, your name Baba Sadiki compete here cry. Yeah, Patrick Buama. I think there are the few people on my gentle kakra.
Yeah, it's about how you conduct yourself.
Charlie.
You see, that old model of politics, aggression, that kind of and the average Ghanaian no sebi na niate. O pese oku Kenyans asem chira na conventional. But some we be say yo mu bi kasa boom panyini kasa o hwe nyansa e wo ma kete ba dede bebre a akra any respect ma ebi no mu ye many of the press conferences on my stage you didn't say we make a crabby. Oh, yes, sir. Oh, my mom for Bamubu. Now, besides, until over the years, I'm crowing and then you understand why we are still broken as a country. They don't even value young people, they don't even value Nipana Yawono. They think sitting on their high horses, governance is all about me da VAT masheko to kafu koba na yeye me onabo. E duru Christmas and 200 Ghana chama for obana watia onabo about some crass politics na twam. It is about empowering people, being the voice of the voiceless. That is politics.
All right, Ebenezer Mokto say, yeah, good morning and greet Mr. Ivan for me. Today, I think, say, I've done the needful rights. Thank you. Kwezo Fiagbe, or say, I don't know if NPP still deserve to be classified as a political party or not. Nelson, Goma Lesio. Thank you for giving me some Bodino Aitia. Or say they are just bunch of hypocrites and corrupt beings. General or say Akufo-Addo and his NPP, including that Reverend ran away from LGBTQ plus bill. Today they are to speak on it as if Ghanaians don't think they are useless gang and not politicians. Ebenezer Motor say I will sue Class Media because they intentionally sabotage the Facebook Live on Thursdays. Oh.
Debi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.